us this morning and these sweet couples who have volunteered of their time to come share with us this morning. So, Jake and Suzanne Beatty, y'all wave. Jake and Suzanne are in seat number 2. I feel like I'm in a game show. This is funny. Okay, so Jake and Suzanne have been married for 18 years. They have 2 kids, a son, Peyton, who is 15, and a daughter, Lauren, who is 13. So they are in the throes of the teenage years. Then, down here on the end farthest from me, we have Mark and Shauna Asbell. They've been married 17 and a half years. They have 3 children, a son, Devin, who is also 15, a daughter, Skylar, who is 14, and a daughter, Kylie, who is 10. Okay. I love this. I love gleaning wisdom, y'all. I feel like I need to get as much as I can before we get there. Oh, where are the babies? Okay. And then down here closest to me, Tom and Diane Prey. These are Jenny Prey's in-laws. They have been married 41 years. That is awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And their 2 adult children, Matthew and Krista. All right, awesome. So, you guys have on the table in front of you, I guess that's, I am so sorry, Jake and Suzanne and Mark and Shauna. Y'all have the microphone on that table. We're going to see how well this works. We just want to make sure that everybody can hear well, but if it is too difficult for you guys to pass the microphone, it's funny how you take things for granted, like a wireless mic, until you don't have one, and then you're like, oh, well, so we're going to make this work. So you guys are in the hot seat because you have the microphone first. Feel free to pass it. If it's too cumbersome to pass the microphone, y'all just speak up and y'all listen up. How about that? We'll make it work. All right, so let's just jump into it. We had some questions submitted by our moms, topics and things that we would like to know about. So we'll just kind of go through this list, and you guys discuss it as much as you want to, and we'll move on. All right, so to get started off, what are some of the good habits or practices that you do now that you wish that maybe you had started earlier? These could relate to, it could be self-related, maybe self-care, or kid-related with your children, or as a couple. Maybe good things that you do now that's working for you that you wish you had started earlier. Do you want to take it?
Okay, so one thing that we are doing now is we've done a lot of small groups, which has been really important for our life, and community's been really important, but something that we're doing differently now at this stage, I'm not sure that I would have changed it, you know what I'm saying? But key is community, but now we're doing, I'm part of a women's group, and Mark is part of a men's Bible study, and so that has been different than what we've done in the past, but very meaningful. And when we were in community before, I don't know if your groups were like this, but it was like we segregated, the women were here and the guys were there, and it was great, and then we come together and do a study. Well, this is kind of just like that segregated, but not in like a bad way. It's just like, I feel like I can go to older women and like ask them how they survived the teen years, and how do I love my children well, and how do I deal with this conflict with my husband. I have older women who've been there, done that I can ask questions to, so that is something that's been different in this season.
Okay, so I would say, just starting with myself, and I did this as a mom. First of all, let me just say it's very strange to be on this side of it, because I was home for 12 years, and I remember, Sydney, we go way back, but I remember a lot of tears and a lot of days of like, oh my gosh, I'm so much more than what I'm doing right now. And it's just to give you hope, it's like that. And so it's just a very strange, like, I'm 40, it's wild. But in those years, I took time for myself, and I talked to a lot of young moms who feel a lot of guilt about that for some strange reason. And if it just helps set you free, don't feel guilty to do something for yourself. It's necessary so that you're your best for your husband and your kids. You need separation from them, and they need separation from you, and that's not a bad thing. So practically speaking, I go to the gym. I would go for runs. I would go sit and have coffee by myself. I would go shopping, or just do something that's just for you. That's a big deal, I think, for women. As far as with kids, and this is really, I can get emotional. I'm gonna try to keep it not emotional. But my son and my daughter both, in the early years, I can remember laying down with them at night is where we talked and where we would connect in some way. And especially with my daughter when she was really little, we would snuggle and we would kiss and we would, it was really sweet. And even with my son, same thing. That has not changed. And maybe it will in the next few years, I don't know. But even at 13 and 15, that's still a really pivotal time. Obviously, it's not kissing and snuggling in that way anymore. But that's the time that even at a 15-year-old will talk to me. I will lay with him. He'll let me scratch his back, and he'll share stuff with me. That has been something that I just didn't know that those were like really important things. So it may seem like, oh my gosh, can I get, but those are really, that will not, I think it builds some kind of sweet, maybe it's like a special, it's just you and them, it's not a shared thing with siblings and that kind of thing. That's like a really pivotal thing. Even when he comes home from school, he doesn't always want to share right away, but at night, both of them, they'll start talking, so that's really pretty special. And I think something that we do as a couple, and I don't even know that we even like set this in place, it just is something that we've always done, but we've always tried every year to take some kind of vacation, big or small, just the two of us, and then also something as a family. And it seems like, well, yeah, but I've talked to so many women or couples that they'll go 10 years. And I can't remember the last time it was just me and my husband, and I'm like, you really can't afford to do that because you'll lose connection and you don't realize it because life just goes so fast. So I would just say one of the most important things is to keep your friendship strong in your marriage. And so I think it's been important for us to have time, just the two of us, and not to talk about kids the whole time that we're gone. That's hard to do, but it's just to dwell on your friendship.
Thinking about back on kids when ours were young, we always had dinner together, but we started kind of early on doing a family night where each person would get a chance each 1 week to pick what we were going to eat and what we were going to do. And I think that was a really good thing because it empowered them to feel like you were listening to what they liked and what they wanted to do. And it kind of brought us together as a family even closer than just having dinner together. And as I talk to my kids now, that's one of the things they remember a lot is when we did that. So I think that was a really good thing.
We did eat out a whole bunch, which was okay. I mean, cooking and all. I think also when myself being into my career, you get so tied up in that. I was pretty fortunate that I worked weekends, every other weekend. So that meant every Friday I had off. And then every other weekend would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So I had a 3-day weekend and a 1-day. But what that did is that Friday, I was able to spend with the kids. And Diane would be working, and we'd be home and taking care of the house. But it allowed me to maintain that connection with both Matt and Chris. So it was a good time. In the vacations, we did not have family nearby. We absolutely loved taking care of our 3 grandchildren. But in Chicago, my family was out in Iowa, then in Florida, and your family was in Indiana, then down in Florida. We couldn't even get an all-night babysitter to go to the, we won a night at a hotel. We only could get a babysitter until 9:30. So we went to the hotel, enjoyed it, snuck home. I went back the next day to check out, so.
That's great. That is great.
But the vacations that we ended up taking, they were camping trips in the back of a van, and we tented all over the West. And those are some of the most special times when we interacted. We were at a campsite. We wouldn't go hiking. We played in the stream there all day long. And those are memories I remember, Matthew remembers, I know Krista does as well. So spending time away from everything with your kids is unbelievable. And that started at a very young age.
Okay, those are all great, thank you. All right, second one. In a marriage, it's a given that each member of the couple is going to change. That you're not the same person today that you were when you met or when you got married. Yes. How do you adjust your marriage to accommodate the people you've become over the years or since having children?
So just to be really transparent, year 7 for us was very, very difficult. Year 7 was the year that things got very real, very honest, and very, very difficult. We had some really honest conversations. I think because we were married, so we literally graduated college on a Saturday and got married the next Saturday. So we were straight out of college. I do not know what it's like to be single very long. And so we were really young when we got married, and I think either one of us did not know who we were. We lost ourselves in our dating relationship, which really